The Army Air Forces said it couldn't be done. The engineers said the weight would tear the aircraft apart. The regulations flat out banned it. Captain James McGuire built it anyway. A standard B-25 Mitchell carried 4 forward-firing, 50 caliber machine guns. McGuire's aircraft carried 14. When all 14 fired at once, they didn't just shoot, they created a wall of lead so dense it looked solid, a stream of fire capable of tearing a ship's deck apart in seconds. The modification was completely unauthorized. No testing, no approval, no safety margin. But McGuire wasn't thinking about regulations. He was thinking about Japanese ships and the pilots who weren't coming back. By 1943, American bombing runs in the Pacific had a problem. The B-25 was designed for medium-altitude bombing targets like bridges, buildings, troop positions, but in the Pacific, the targets moved. Ships didn't sit still. High-altitude bombing against maneuvering vessels was almost useless. Bombs missed, ships turned away, hundreds of drops for almost no results. So crews adapted. They flew low. Skip bombing became the new tactic, charging straight at enemy ships at wave-top height, releasing bombs that skipped across the water and slammed into the hull. When it worked, it was devastating. But getting to the drop point was a death sentence. To line up a skip bombing run, pilots had to fly straight, no evasive maneuvers, no zigzagging, just a direct approach into a wall of anti-aircraft fire. Japanese ships were covered in guns, 25 millimeters, cannons, machine gun nests, even riflemen firing from the deck. Every weapon opened up at once. Pilots flew through a storm of steel, and many didn't make it out. McGuire watched it happen. He saw the empty bunks. He attended the memorials. Then he started counting guns. His idea was simple. More guns meant more bullets. More bullets meant fewer enemy gunners firing back. Fewer gunners meant more pilots surviving. The math was brutal but clear. With the help of Crew Chief Technical Sergeant Robert Wrench Patterson, McGuire began modifying his aircraft. First, they added extra guns to the nose, 6 total. Then 10. Then 14. They crammed over 1,000 pounds of weapons and ammunition into a space never designed to hold it. They stripped out anything unnecessary, moved equipment to rebalance the aircraft, removed the bombardier entirely. McGuire would aim by pointing the entire plane. It was dangerous. It was unstable. It was completely against regulations. And it worked. On his first combat mission with the 1-4 gun configuration, everything changed. As he roared toward a Japanese convoy at 250 miles per hour, just 50 feet above the waves, he opened fire early, far earlier than standard doctrine allowed. 14 machine guns erupted at once. The aircraft shuddered under the recoil. Tracers poured from the nose in a continuous stream, a river of fire stretching toward the target. By the time he reached bombing range, the ship's deck was already shredded. Gun crews were gone. Defensive fire collapsed. McGuire dropped his bombs. They skipped across the water and slammed into the hull. The ship began sinking before he even pulled away. Behind him, the rest of the squadron attacked a convoy already in chaos. 3 ships sunk, 0 American losses. At first, he kept it quiet, but you can't hide 14 machine guns for long. Other pilots noticed. His aircraft came back untouched while others were riddled with holes. His strafing runs left ships defenseless. Eventually, he showed them. The reactions were always the same. That's against regulations. That shouldn't even fly. Then they saw it in combat. Can you build me one? Within weeks, the modification spread. Crew chiefs quietly installed extra guns. Paperwork was adjusted. Weapons listed as destroyed somehow reappeared in aircraft noses. Ammunition usage reports stopped making sense. No one asked questions because the results spoke for themselves. By early 1944, command finally took notice. An inspection team arrived, ready to shut everything down. They examined McGuire's aircraft. This is completely outside specifications. McGuire didn't argue. That aircraft has sunk 8 ships in 3 months. The inspectors paused. They checked the records. They checked the kill sheets. They looked at the plane again. They didn't shut it down. They recommended it be adopted. Soon, the modification became official. Factories began producing B-25S with heavy forward gun packages. The final versions carried even more firepower, some up to 18 forward-firing guns. The B-25 had transformed from a medium bomber into a ship killer. McGuire kept flying. Mission after mission. Same tactic every time. Open fire early. Silence the guns. Drop the bombs. Watch the ship sink. By mid-1944, Japanese convoys stopped sailing in daylight. Supply lines collapsed. Garrisons starved. Reinforcements never arrived. The modified B-25 didn't win the Pacific War alone, but it helped choke the life out of it. After the war, James McGuire went home to Kansas. He ran a hardware store. Didn't talk much about what he did, but in his office, he kept a photograph. A B-25 nose packed with 14 machine guns. Under it, a handwritten caption. Sometimes you have to build what they won't give you. The Army said it wouldn't work. They called it unsafe. They threatened punishment. Then they made it standard. Because in war, results matter more than rules. And McGuire's results were undeniable. 12 ships at the bottom of the Pacific, because one pilot decided 4 guns weren't enough.